So there's an actual service bulletin on this to replace the Undertray. What happens is there's a drain line, a condensation drain line that leaks onto the back part over here. There's a drain line that goes straight onto this. It's like a cardboard material, and what happens is this thing gets soaked with water, and then obviously if you hit any kind of little tiny debris or anything in the road, it'll just break, right? So then we went to Tesla, and they wanted, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws. They're 9-10 millimeter screws, and they wanted $270 to replace this. They did not want to do it as the service bulletin said. So I decided to buy off eBay the same thing, but aftermarket for it was $46. So I'm about to just drop this, show you where the issue is with the drain line, and put the new shield on. They're 10 millimeters, so just go ahead and take a 10 millimeter like this and remove all the bolts. Okay, so the panel is removed. Now if you look here, right there is the drain hole. These are high voltage wires, okay? So these are waterproof connectors. So everything here is technically waterproof, right? But does this make any sense to you that there's a evap drain right here? And a lot of times, you know, water and electricity obviously don't mix. So the issue is that if you stuff a pipe in there, like I've seen some people do, that will actually prevent possibly water, condensate from the AC, from draining out. So it has to be attached to the outer diameter. Now the issue is to find the pipe for the outer diameter. I don't know if I have that or not, because I was going to route the pipe down and drill a hole in the under tray and route it down somewhere here, away from all these wires. But the problem is it's like a plastic. I think it's about maybe a 5/8, something like that. And by the way, these two bolts here were 15 millimeters, so 15. So everything is 10. These are 15. And you know, you could see that it's going all over. This is a coolant line, so this is a coolant. 1 second. What I'm also going to do is use a scope. I'm going to take the end of a scope and stick it into the drain hole to see if it's clogged or not before I'm going to apply this coil cleaner directly into the drain. Just a little bit of it, not much. So the coil cleaner is in. You spray it right into that hole, and it'll kind of work its way out. Now I've thought about putting a hose on here, but here's the issue that I don't want to have. One, if I put the hose on there and I route it down, the issue that I'm going to have is I have to drill a hole here. If you park the vehicle for, let's say, a couple days, you can get insects to crawl in there, or road debris or rocks, and actually clog that drain hole. Now what I don't like is this kind of shows you how that water makes its way down. You see that right there? So it goes on the high voltage wires, and then it makes its way down into that battery. You see? So I don't like that, what's happening. So what I'm going to do is I have special HVAC tape that I'm going to just try to block this area off as much as I can before I actually put the Undertray back on. So as you can see, here's the high voltage wires, and it's literally going, I don't know what these channels are for, but I'm not sure if that's good that the water that makes its way down from the condensation works its way essentially almost into the battery like that. So I get that they're insulated, these wires, but still, I'm just understand why they could make like a drain here with a one-way rubber valve that would allow it to drain out right here. I took this electrical silicone lubricant and just coated this area just to limit any kind of rust or corrosion from happening. All right, next up what I did was I took some battery terminal protector from CRC, and this area, as you saw before, I didn't want it to start rusting and corroding, so I just did a thin layer on this area. It's used on battery terminals, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with using it on bare metal like this, just to limit some of the corrosion over time that's going to come from there. So I've decided, unfortunately, not to mess with the engineering from Tesla here, because I'm sure I hope that they understand that this issue is happening, that is going all over those wires. So I'm going to leave this as it is. I don't want to route a hose out here and then drill a hole in here, because then that'll cause debris to make its way in this area. I want to keep this area clean with that shield that I'm replacing. But what I have noticed is if you look up here, that's factory there. This is also factory here. So literally, I mean, this area here is not waterproof. It doesn't come in direct contact with water, but I mean, what do you guys think? I was thinking about at least putting some HVAC tape or something over that to prevent, I don't know, at least give it some protection, because those are just wires with a little bit of sheathing on them, you know? So here's the bottom of I think this is the coolant reservoir with the pump. That looks like a pump there. There's your hoses. It gets routed like that. All these hoses you can buy separately, by the way, if you ever have a leak. Here's your steering rack. That's your steering rack there, and yeah. Kind of a interesting setup that they didn't protect stuff like this. You know, you would think there would be like some sort of cover over it, but I don't know if they're trying to save money or if it's just not actually needed. But I mean, that right there could definitely seem like it could use some sort of protection, huh? All right, so what do you guys think? You tell me. Does it look better? So this is that same type of tape that they use on, like, to repair, you know, you ever see like aircraft paint peeling? So they put this on top to like prevent the paint from flaking off. So that's on there, and I mean, you can barely rip it off now, so it's not gonna like fly off. But at least they provide some sort of protection, because I mean, the wheel's right here. So like literally the rocks and stuff can fly up through here, through this wheel, and hit the wire, and just, you know, doesn't take much. Or like little squirrels and rodents can crawl up in here and eat the little wires, and then you're gonna have a problem. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna coat this whole thing. I got this special fluid film. I'm gonna coat this frame in fluid film and then throw the cover back on and be done with it. Alright guys, so coated the whole frame in this fluid film. It's like a rust protectant. And also the steering rack was super like rusty, so coated that just in case. And now we're just gonna put everything back together. The cleaner stopped leaking out. Oh yeah, by the way, when you jack this car up, make sure that you use those special jack pads. There's one there and one on the other side. Okay, they're like the special ones you buy them off Amazon. They're like 10 bucks. And then I'm gonna also real quick do a control arm check. Bushings look good, but just side to side, 12 o'clock, 6, 9 and 3. Just double check everything. Sway bar links look good. Thrust arms look good. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna put the shield back on at this time. So there's the shield on. Yeah, that's it. I will say though, the factory one, it does feel a little more sturdy. I mean, not really, but it's just soaked. Then the aftermarket, but I'll see how it goes. If it lasts a year or two, I'll be happy. At the same time, we're gonna do a quick coil cleaning on this side. Very handy to have a little ratchet like this with a little T20 like that. It'll allow you to get a bolt that's right here. Super easy to get it to it this way. I'm installing these cabin air filters with the activated charcoal. Give them a shot. You just got to replace these frequently, probably once a year at least. Then you got to put them back and run the AC for about 15 minutes on low setting. And we're also going to apply this it kills bacteria and freshens the air conditioning system. So you just apply it to the inside of the filter, because the air will go in this way and exit the other way. So you're gonna apply it like this. Okay, so now you put the filter door back, and you're gonna put this on the inside of the filter to kill the bacteria. And then you're going to run the AC on fan speed 4, all the way temperature down to the minimum. And you'll feel it. If you smell here, it'll smell nice and fresh. And it's going to be good. So just let it run for 15 minutes, and then you should be all set for at least a year. You're going to want to do this every year, because what happens is bacteria collects inside your evaporator, and unfortunately, you know, if you're in a hot climate where it's very humid, there's really no workaround around it. You're always going to have a little bit of bacteria in here. So all you got to do is just service it once a year with this cleaner, right? With this right here. You can use a bunch of different coil cleaners, and it'll help you for at least a year. So just do it every summer, and it'll remove you can do it actually right when you service your filters. Now, I understand you may not want to crawl underneath the car and go from the other side as well, like I did, but at least do it from this side. It'll be better than nothing.